Okay, maybe that title is a little bit harsh or misleading, but essentially what I mean is if you've tried backflips for a very long time and you just can't get them down, or the macaco method from last week didn't work for you, then maybe try this one. This is the momentum method for backflips. So like I said in last week's video, most of this footage was shot in a very muddy, very wet, grassy area, so I would recommend not doing this one in these conditions. You can completely do last week's video, the macaco method, link in the description if you didn't see it. You can completely do that method in these conditions, but I would recommend do not do this video in these conditions.
I even slipped right there.
Go to a gym or find some grass that's like completely dry, somewhere where you have some good friction, because I slipped a lot in this video. But essentially there's two different ways that I usually teach my students how to backflip. There's a group of students who are extremely good at jumping and have like a lot of natural power, and generally they can get their standing back tucks or backflips first by just going through macaco and doing it standing, and it's not as spooky for them because there's not a bunch of momentum involved. And then there's the other group that is just super good at arching and or has done like round off back handspring in the past, or done things like that include a lot of momentum, and it's not very scary for them. So this one works a lot better. Either way, neither are wrong, because you can just use this one to get your standing one, or use the last one to get this one, because it's very similar. The prereqs for this are going to be a macaco or a back handspring. You don't need both, you only need one. If you have a macaco, then great. If you have a back handspring, even better. If you don't have either, then maybe go watch my macaco tutorial linked in the description down below. Get that, and then come back here and we'll get our backflip. I'll also probably make a round off tutorial really soon, just because I made a really long cartwheel tutorial, and some of y'all don't have good round offs, and it's like really not helping you at all. So I'm sure there's something to be gained from a tutorial from me for round off, because my round offs are pretty good and I learned them completely from scratch on grass, didn't do gymnastics, didn't do any kind of like power tumbling or anything. So hopefully you have a good round off before starting this. If not, check the description, maybe my tutorial's there. I just kind of have stopped using cards because it kills retention. Regardless, to start off, what we're gonna do is we're going to warm up our round offs. Do your round off a couple times, round off rebound, get used to the feeling, and get used to the like surface that you're on. You wanna make sure that you're not gonna slide like I do in this video, and you're gonna make sure that you can like bounce up pretty high and rebound. Make sure you are not bending your knees. You are, you can have a micro bend, but you're relatively straight. Make sure you're landing on the balls of your feet, not your heels. If you land on your heels, you're gonna stop having knees after a while. So balls of your feet, standing up straight, arms up, rebound, and then you can bend your knees to land. From here, there's two ways you could go. You could either do it the slow way or the fast way. If you feel really comfortable with macacos, or you already have a back handspring, then you can do the fast way. But we're gonna start with the slow way just for everyone else. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna do a round off. Make sure that you do a 180, so you're facing backwards to your dom or direction of momentum when you land, and then you squat down, look behind you, and do a macaco. Then you're gonna go to the fast motion, and you're just basically gonna try and do a round off macaco. So it can be pretty sideways at first, and a lot of people struggle with this and stay on this for a long time. All you gotta do is rep it over and over again, make sure you're spotting over, and try to like jump off both legs at the same time, not essentially just doing a cartwheel and then doing another cartwheel, if that makes sense. Once you get used to that, all you gotta do is do your round off and try to like launch yourself backwards a little bit. You wanna land on both hands at the same time and then spring off like a round off. It's almost like you just did two round offs. You did a round off forward, turned around, then started a backwards macaco motion, and then did a round off, if that makes sense. If you can't quite get that and you keep twisting, then what you wanna do is you wanna do a round off to macaco where you land on the left leg, like I explained in last week's video about the macaco method. Once you've gotten out of that like purgatory that is the round off macaco motion, and you can really go like kind of at a 45-degree angle over the side, then you wanna make sure that you aren't twisting your arms over to the side, that you're swinging them up, and that you're looking at your own hands now. Up until this point, we've been looking kind of behind us, like to our left, spotting the ground behind us, catching on our hands, and then pushing off. What you're gonna do now is you're going to round off, stand up straight, be as tall as you can, add a bunch of momentum, and then try to look over at your hands as they go over, and then slowly turn it into a back handspring. As long as your round off is good, the faster you go on this, the better it'll be. The lighter you'll be, the easier it'll be to flip, and the lighter you'll be on your hands so you won't hurt your wrists. Try not to bend your arms, try to keep them as straight as possible, and then you'll kind of be like a rock skipping across water. You should be able to round off macaco with a little bit of bounce or leftover momentum or rebound if you're ready to move on. Then just slowly progress it to a back handspring by looking at your hands and going more and more over the top. This could take 2 minutes, this could take 2 years. So take your time, be nice to yourself. A lot of my students land it and then lose it and then land it and then lose it. So it's okay to do that if that's you also. But if you never quite get your back handspring, we can always work your way back to it and just get like kind of a sideways backflip and then come back to back handspring once you straighten it out. So from here, whether you're doing a back handspring or a slightly off back handspring macaco 45-degree angle motion, we're gonna start trying to do what we did in the last tutorial where we just reach towards the ground. We are doing a round off as fast as possible. We are now bouncing as fast as we can and we're reaching back and we're doing essentially a back handspring, and then you're gonna try and race your feet, your hands, to the ground using your feet. You're going to swing those arms, spot the ground, keep your eyes open so you can see the ground, reach towards the ground, but then try to tuck a little bit or squeeze your abs so that your feet come down before your hands do. Hopefully you do that over and over again, and then one of these times your feet will just accidentally land. This has happened so many times for a bunch of my students, especially ones that aren't like super conditioned, because the momentum will kind of compensate for their lack of conditioning in their core or their legs or wherever they're at. If they have a lot of good like momentum built up from that round off and they bounce, then it's just a little bit of squeeze in your core or a lot of swing with your arms that will bring you to your feet. When people do it this way, they tend to be really surprised when they land. They're like, wait, what, I just did it? Here's an example of one of my students doing this. He kept trying to do a backflip standing. He wanted a standing backflip. Nice. I wanted to get him a standing backflip. We were really focusing on doing like a proper back tuck form, and it just wasn't working. Like his natural affinity was to arch, just like you were saying in the comments of that other video about backflip that I made. Some people have a natural affinity to arch, and so after about like 2 classes and then halfway through a 3rd class on backflip, I was like, you know what, man? Let's do it a different way. And you know, I had him doing all these different drills, like literally 6 different drills to get his tuck. And I was like, you know what? Heck the tuck. And then I just had him do a round off macaco really, really fast. And then he was able to just kind of like lean back with the momentum because his round off was really good and he had a backflip on the trampoline already. So he just kind of went with the motion and was not scared. And I was like, bro, set a little higher and jump. I spotted him like 2 or 3 times and then he got it by himself. All he had to do was trust the momentum, trust himself, be confident, and then bounce and look back at the floor, and then he just pull his feet down, and then he hasn't lost it since. Even if we do a class that has nothing to do with tricks, at the end of class, when he's exhausted, I always let him do a few backflips just to like, you know, stay in the habit of it, and he's always confident because it's a natural motion for him. But even if you don't go straight over the top or you don't have a back handspring yet, and your body just will not do it, you can still get a backflip. I would still consider like an offset backflip a backflip. Like this is another one of my students who struggles with the standing macaco method because he goes a little too sideways, but when we do it with the round off, his sideways motion is compensated for with the amount of flip he's getting from the momentum, from the linear momentum going forward, and the bounce, his feet are being thrown over his head. So even though he goes crazy sideways, the momentum won't allow him to go crazy sideways. So he's on like a 45-degree angle, but he's still closer to backflip than he is anything else. So he's doing a round off backflip in my opinion. And I promise you that over time, he's gonna straighten it out because all he has to do is lean back more and more, and then he'll have a clean back tuck. But this method is all about comfort. Make sure you are very comfortable with that round off, or else this is just dangerous. You're just gonna launch yourself in the air and fall on the back of your head. So please be comfortable with your round off before you even try this. You also don't have to use a round off. You can totally use like a scoot or master scoot or macaco or any other like power setup that is easier for you. I know some trickers don't start with like any kind of traditional motions, and I didn't learn any traditional way, but I really wanted to get round off backflip like right away when I started tricking. So I trained round off a ton. So it was just the natural thing that I would do, round off backflip motion. Let's go ahead and go over some common mistakes with this method. First common mistake I see is you round off off is too crappy. Train your round off more, do cartwheels, try to get them more gymnastics-y, try to do it more over the top, make sure you're doing a 180, you're falling backwards with like a crap ton of momentum, and then you can do this. Like if your round off, it reminds you of like a dilapidated building, then you're probably not ready to do a round off macaco and turn that into a backflip. So just clean up your round off first, or other setup move, whatever it is. The next common mistake I see is never extending enough and staying too crunched. This manifests two ways. You'll do a round off, you'll bend your knees, and you'll just kind of like turn towards your dom or direction of momentum, and you'll like do like a dive roll or something. Like some people are just so afraid to go backwards that their body crunches and turns them into like a dive roll or just a crumbling mess. But what happens is people preempt the sidewaysness of the macaco and won't land squared up to their dom, and then they will actually twist so that they're facing sideways or even towards their direction of momentum. And then like there's no hope of doing a macaco from that position unless you went backwards and resisted your momentum. The other way this manifests is just twisting. Sometimes people will stand up all the way out of that round off, but then they'll just turn like they're doing a cartwheel, or their like leg will kick first, almost like they're trying to do a gainer or something. And then again, there's no hope of doing a macaco because you gotta have your pelvis forward and you gotta be like arching and jumping and getting a little float hang time before you put your hands down. And if you're twisting over with that right leg, then you're automatically gonna be like turning too much and either fall down or just do a cartwheel. And then once you can do a backflip that is essentially like a big whip, then you can either continue doing it like a whip and just build power and just do like tons of whips if you want to, or you can learn to tuck it by just doing your round off, getting a lot of power, spotting the ground, and then tucking your knees a bit and slowly working your way back over to where you're setting and then tucking a little bit earlier and keeping your eyes open and then landing on the ground. Again, this is just if you want to diversify and have like a true back tuck, or do like, you know, different variations with your backflip or stalls or something. And then once you get this and you're really comfortable with this, I'm talking about like, you know, 3 to 6 months of like, I've trained round off backflip constantly, your body might get used to the motion and then you might be able to do it standing. So to do that, what you want to do is kind of work your way backwards, do your round off backflip and then try to do it kind of slower and slower and see if you can like really pull yourself over. And then you can just do round off, stop, backflip, and then just like stand there and pretend you did a round off mentally, and then do a backflip, and then you got yourself a standing backflip. Another common mistake I see is opening too early. So a lot of people will swing their arms, do everything properly, and then like try to tuck, and then they're like, okay, I'm making it over, and then their eyes are closed, or they just see like a glimpse of what shade the ground is, and so they open too early, and then they just stumble forward, or hurt their ankles, or a whole mess of things. I've actually seen someone dislocate their ankle just by like aggressively shooting out, but way too early, so the angle was really intense and their pain was really intense after that. So make sure you are spotting the ground and you're fully rotating and you're just landing on the balls of your feet, not on your heels and not on the side of your legs, and making sure that you are reaching to the ground and pulling your chest up. Another common mistake I see on this is not following through with the momentum. You want to think of the momentum as like almost like water going through a garden hose. So you want to think of it like pushing through, and if you do a round off and then you bend your knees, it's almost like kinking the hose and then you unkink the hose. So your momentum is kind of like sporadic and or just killed. Like you might get rid of all your momentum if you bend dramatically enough, and then you try to go for it and you have no power whatsoever. So you can have like a slight knee bend, especially if you're on harder ground like grass or something, but try to get your legs as straight as possible and try to just kind of like, again, surrender to the momentum and just let like it pull you backwards, and then just look at the ground so that you're safe and just put your hands down and spring off and really push so that you can have a strong round off backflip. So just make sure your momentum is continuous through the round off and the backflip, or the setup move and the backflip. Another common mistake I see on this is setting too low because you're so used to a back handspring. So at some point, like you might have been trained as a gymnast, or you might have just done this on your own a ton and you're a little too afraid to jump. You kind of got to get over that fear. If you just go backwards and you just stick to the same habits you've always done, then you're not going to be able to progress and get a higher level thing. So if you want to turn this from a back handspring into it, all you really have to do is jump a little bit earlier, like push off, then bounce with your feet, and instead of going straight back, just resist a little bit for like a half second, and then still do a back handspring in the air. But because you have so much momentum, your feet will be higher up because you blocked it, and then you'll be able to just kind of reach and miss your hands and put your feet down. But yeah, that's the momentum method. I hope that helped you get or improve your round off backflip, or get you your backflip through the macaco motion or back handspring or whatever. If this video was helpful to you, please like the video. No pressure, but there are affiliate links down below if you want to support me. If you want to support me even further, you can support me on Patreon. Thank you to my existing patrons, Kat, Badir, and Razby. Thank you guys so much. Your support means the world to me. And if you want to learn one of the progressions, or see a couple different ways that you could backflip, or just explore other tutorials on the backflip adjacent path that I have made, then check out this playlist right here.